바빠 개설레임 바꾸는 사람들 시간만 지나가 자신감 가지고 해와 그냥.
Hey there and welcome back to my channel. Today is such a rainy and cold day, and it's not even a beautiful like snowy day. The snow is immediately turning into slush as soon as it lands down on the ground. So I am all bundled up and nice and cozy inside in my little hoodie. I have my coffee and I'm ready to start a really fun project for today and, you know, kickstart the best time of the year, which is seed starting time. So if you are new here, hello and welcome. I am a third year gardener. I used to garden with my mom way back in the day, but I am basically resetting because I had a really long gap between then and now. So my fiance and I bought a house last year, and or actually in 2020, which is crazy to think that it has been that long. But we put a really beautiful potager garden in the backyard. Last year was basically a trial run of seeing what works, what doesn't work. And so I am just ready to get started and get some stuff out there. One of my tasks for today is to organize all of my seeds. I'm also going to show you how I'm planning for this year. I have already planned out everything that I want for my spring summer garden-ish. I haven't planned out fall yet, but I am so psyched about it, so I hope you guys are too. So this is how I've been storing my seeds, in these cutie little containers from Hobby Lobby. They're actually recipe containers, and so I'll still use this for gardening stuff, but this is really not the best use of space for all of my seeds. A lot of people in the gardening community, they've been using this to organize seedlings, which is so ingenious. But it comes in these little organizers so you can put all of your seedlings in there. And this whole thing was $15 at Hobby Lobby. I didn't get it on sale, but it would be 40 to 50% off if you did. And for $7, are you kidding me? That is a steal. So I'm going to be organizing all of my seeds in there in like these little guys. So I'm gonna work on my produce seeds first. However your brain works is how you should organize best. So if I'm organizing a specific way, it doesn't mean that you need to as well. Herbs are the first section in my produce section, and I feel like it can fit quite a bit. So I'm just gonna organize them out by the type. So I have a couple of basils, a couple of parsleys, a couple of sages. I love sage. All of these can fit in here, you guys. That's so exciting. Okay, next I have my peas and my beans. And so I already know I'm gonna need to separate these out because these are the thickest ones that I have. This was the easiest organizing task ever and so satisfying. I have all of them filled up except for this one. So I have room to take, you know, something else out if I want, but I think I'm gonna keep everything in. Like, nothing is really full. It just is nice and neat and organized. So I am so excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with labeling. I basically have everything already labeled from the last time I organized. So I just keep it with herbs, root vegetables, leafy vegetables, all of these. So I'm gonna do that right now and then stick them right on top. Okay, this is how I have everything organized. I have perennials, and then everything else are annuals. And so I have snapdragons here, foxgloves, and then I have some part shade and full sun, just like a mixed bag here. And then I have poppies, zinnias, cosmos, sunflowers. I have some low growing annuals here, so like alyssum, candy tuft, cut flowers. So this I didn't have organized before, but I bought a lot of flowers specifically for growing as cut flowers. So I have pincushion flower, asters, larkspur, bachelor buttons, gonfrina, amaranth, celosia, lavender mist, bells of Ireland, and then a really tall marigold here. I also have a container for full sun things, so petunias, and then I have part shade. So I have impatiens in here, and then I have one for vining plants, so sweet peas, let's see, moonflowers, cottage, 4 o'clocks, morning glories, just stuff like that. I don't grow a lot of vining plants, but I want to put them in containers, so having them organized like this would just be amazing. So all of the produce and all of the flowers are done, and I can actually probably just put them in my closet for now, but everything's nice and organized, and so I'm good to go now, which is exciting. So now that everything is nice and organized, I'm so excited about those, you guys. Literally the easiest thing, but I'm just like looking at them now and they look amazing. So let me show you what I have planned for the garden this year. I have planned everything out on Canva. It makes it super easy. You can totally use paper and like colored pencils, but this digital view is easy, so I can just print it off when I need to put it in the garden. Life-changing. On the left will be my tomato bed. I have 3 different types going to be planted in the raised bed: pole cherry, black crim, and yellow pear, interplanted with a ton of different types of basil. On the right, I have some corn, lettuce, and some radish. Next, I'm going to have a ton of different peas and beans interplanted with some cucumbers. On the right, I have my peppers and eggplants bed. You can call this my nightshade bed. My goal is to make hot sauce this year. In the middle, I'm maximizing space by having some collard greens. And then moving down on the left, I have some Copenhagen market cabbage, as well as some crimson sweet and sugar baby watermelons. And on the right will be my squash and melon bed with some summer squash, honeydew, and cantaloupe. And then you'll see I have a lot of things interplanted in pots. So I have nasturtium, chamomile, and Swiss chard. So now that I have everything organized on Canva, I have this massive spreadsheet that's basically all of the information in a seed packet. And the most important thing is, one, knowing my average loss frost date, which here in zone 7A, I'm on the cusp of 7A and 7B. My average loss frost date, I think it's like the last week of March, first week of April. So to give myself a little buffer, I'm giving myself a full week after that date, just because last year we did have a cold snap, and anything frost sensitive like eggplants and tomatoes will die if they get in that really cold weather. They are not tolerant at all. And I picked up this really handy calendar from Target. This was only $4 or $5, really inexpensive, but it's just a plain calendar. And what I did was I took just sticky notes, cut them down, and I wrote all of the plants that had a similar starting date. So I have on the 9th, I had purple coneflower, white swan, echinacea, snapdragons, vinca, and petunias. So those are all things that I started from seed and needed to be started about 12 weeks before your average last frost. You can start these a little bit later in the month, of course. You could totally do that, but I'm just starting things like snapdragons. I have a whole flat of snapdragons. They grow so slow. They germinate so slow, and then they just grow super slow. And so by the time it got to March, they were finally big enough in my opinion to go outside after caring for them so long. So I like to start those as soon as possible, so that way in March I can put them outside. That also gives me a lot of space in my grow station to grow anything else that needs to be started about 4 weeks before my average last frost date. I have this really long sticky note here of things that I am expected to start on the 30th of the month. I have my average last frost date, which is the 3rd, but again, I am planning to do everything on this date, which is the 10th. So everything will be planned out here. As soon as I start something, I'm gonna mark it down on this calendar so I have a written record. And then I'm also going to be tracking fertilizing, pinching, trimming, transplanting, all of that here, so that way I can keep it year to year and kind of see what I did from year to year to kind of give me, you know, a routine, kind of building a routine. I also filmed a seed starting video a couple of weeks ago. So this video is going out before that one, but let me show you what I'm growing outside in the garage. Here are the seeds that I started. So next week I'll show you all about it. So I have some vinca here and a ton of petunias. I love petunias. So I am so excited about this. They have their humidity domes on, and I'm just basically waiting for them to germinate. They feel really nice and moist, so I feel like these are good to go. And then I have a whole tray of snapdragons here. I have 3 different kinds. I have First Lady mixed colors here, tall deluxe, and then a tall like maximum mix. So these 2 will probably be good for a cut flower garden. Some of them are, one variety is kind of on the smaller side, and these are perennials. So I'm gonna have them for year to year. Last year I grew a ton of snapdragons and I didn't know they were perennials, so I cut them all off and I'm really sad about it. So this year I'm hoping to get them in the ground and leave them as is. And as you can see, I have a ton of space open. I'm only using this small section here for everything, but it's going to fill up really quick. One day I'm going to run out of space for all of my seeds, but I'm hoping that this is a good amount of space for this year, since I know how many things I want to grow this year compared to last year. All right, that is it for today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm starving now, so I am going to go get a bite to eat. But yeah, I'm really excited about this garden. Definitely check out my Instagram. It is larose.garden. I'll link it down below. I'm gonna film more garden videos here on this channel, but it just might not be as much, so I don't overwhelm you with gardening videos if you're like not into it. But I am keeping everything up to date over on the Instagram, so go ahead and check it out. And yeah, thank you for spending the time with me today, and I'll see you next week in a new video. Bye.